What's up, guys? Welcome to a new tutorial. Now, in this tutorial, we are going to talk about inheritance. Okay, inheritance in Java. So, what is inheritance? Inheritance is just a mechanism whereby a more specified class called the subclass inherits some of the properties coming from the parent class. Okay, so let's just dive straight into it. Now we can start by writing a program to explain this mechanism. So we can open our project, then create a package. So this package, I will call it two-dimensional figure. Two-dimensional figure. Okay, two-dimensional figures. Now I will go into my package, and then I'm going to create a class, my first class, where I can create all my classes. So the first class, I'll call it 2D shape. 2D shape. Okay, this is my first class. Okay, then I'll create another class again, and that class I will call it triangle. Triangle shape. Okay, and then I'll create another class called colored. Triangle shape. Okay, so guys, these are our three classes. So here the 2D class is our parent class. So inside our parent class, we can add the properties. Okay, the properties of a 2D shape. Okay, we know 2D shapes, right? 2D shapes are in the form of let's say they have width and height. Okay, so now here, I am going to add some comments. I'm going to add some comments to highlight some of the things that we will be talking about. Okay, so here, we'll make use of constructors, not one constructor, but constructors. And then we'll make use of the super keyword, which is very, very important. The super keyword. And then overriding method. Override method, okay? So probably these are these are one of the things that we are expecting. So here we will have field variables. Okay, like we will have field or instance variables. Okay, and then we'll have some maybe 3 to 4 constructors. 3 to 4 constructors, and then we'll make use of the super keyword. Anytime you are talking about inheritance, you have to make use of this keyword, and then I'll show you how you can apply override. So let's just add our field variable first. So when it comes to the field variables, we can add the instance variables, which is also known as field variable. So I'm going to give it an access specifier of private double width, okay. Private double height. Okay, so these are the two These are one of the two properties of the 2D. Okay, so we can add a constructor. We can add our default constructor. So here I'll call it default constructor. Default constructor. So for the default constructor, we just initialize all of them to 0. Let's assume that it is empty. So I can say that public 2D shapes. Remember, whenever you are creating a constructor, you just have to call the class name. The class name is 2D shape. Okay. Now inside here, we can initialize these two. We can give them initial values also. Okay. So inside here, to call the instance variable inside, we can say this dot width, and then we can equate it to 0. We can equate it to 0. We can say 0.0 is okay, or we can just say 0. And then this dot height, we can also say 0.0. Okay, now that's our default constructor. So we can add another constructor, and that's constructor now we are going to make it dynamic, more dynamic with that. Okay, so you can say second constructor. Okay, now here we can say public 2D save. Now inside we pass the arguments, and the arguments here is double the width, double height. Then inside the body, inside the body we can say this dot width, this dot width, this dot width is equals to double. Okay, now we are initializing with a variable that will give some values. This dot height is equals to h. In one class, you can have as many constructors, like you will keep on overloading the constructor as much as you want. Okay. Okay, so the third constructor public 2D C. So the third constructor, like it have the same width and the same height. Let's assume that the value is the same. So in this case, we equate both of them. So you can say this dot width is equals to this dot height is equals to x. Okay, let's say both the width and the height is equal. So this is understandable. Okay, good. So we can use these constructors. So now the next thing is we can go ahead and then add a method that will get the height and get the width for it. So here we can say method to get the height. Okay, method to get the height for us. So you can say public double. Remember, it is it has a return type, get. Then I'm going to return this dot. Okay. Then and go ahead also and say method get. Then we can say public double get width. Okay, and now we can return the instance variable of there, which is this dot width. It's been initialized. Okay, now we need to add another method. Now in this method, we are going to display. Okay, a method to display. So we can say just to display the dimension. Method display the dimension, or we can call it measurement. So here we can say public void. Remember, anytime you are using display, the type will be void. Public void show dimension, or dim. Let me just call it dim. Okay, so here we can say system dot out dot print ln. Okay, then inside we can say the width, the height is then we can concatenate it with this dot get height. Okay, this dot get height. It is okay to do this, and then we can also concatenate it with what? The width is, and then we can say this dot get width. Okay, so that's our display method or show method. Okay, and now we can add a method to get the area for us. Method to get area for us. Method to get the area. Okay, then we say public double get area. Okay, so we can also, let's make it like this to display the area, right? So we can say public void show area. Okay, then in here we can add a print statement, so we can use this one and just edit it and paste it inside here. We can remove this and use here a multiplication, so we can say the area is, okay. So that's it, guys. So here, in fact, here, okay, yeah, this is good, guys. Okay, so we are done with the parent class. This is the parent class. The parent class, these are the methods. You have your instance variable up here, and you initialize it with default variable at first, then you initialize it with variables that you are going to modify, and then later on you initialize it with a squared variable, and then later on you get the height, you get the width, then you show the dimension, then also display the area. So now we are going to our second class. So our second class is a triangular shape class. So a triangular shape class, we have to know some of the features that a triangular can have. We know that a triangular can have a width and a height, but now this triangle, we want it to be styled. Okay, we want it to have extra feature called styled. Okay, so for that being the case, we can give it a private variable, which is private string style. So this one is a feature only for the triangle. Okay, this is a feature only for the triangle. So triangle owns this feature here. So this will be our field variable. Field variable. Okay, then the triangle have probably also 3 constructors. Okay, the triangle have 3 constructors. So we can say first constructor. First constructor. So we can say public triangle. Then inside we can pass in argument string s. Okay, double H. Okay, very good. Now the next thing is, okay, let me try. Okay, it's triangle shape, not triangle shape. Okay, so the next thing is now this class here is supposed to inherit the width and the height of the parent class. Remember, inside the parent class here, we have already defined a width and a height. So inside here, we want this triangle is a subclass of the 2D shape. Okay, so it can inherit the features of the 2D shape. So how can we achieve that? Anytime you want a subclass to inherit from a parent class, you go to the subclass, which is, for this case, is the triangle, and then you use the keyword extend to the shape. Okay. Extends to the shape. Okay, so now with this keyword extends, then the parent class, which comes next after extends, meaning now with this one, we could be able to achieve the concept of inheritance. Now, anytime that you want to inherit the features of the parent class, now you have to make use of the superclass. Remember, now we have talked about variables, field variable, we have talked about constructor. Now we are making use of the super keyword. So in here, we can call super. Then remember, whenever we call super, we are calling the constructors. But which of the constructor are we going to use? We are going to use the second constructor. Okay, we are going to make use of the second constructor because that one is having this. Okay, because all other constructors have one and the other one is empty. So here we can pass in order, the way they are arranged. You have W and H. So here I can say W, H. So these are the two features inherited. Two features inherited. Let me call it inherited from the parent. Okay. Now this subclass have extra feature, which is style, right? So we can say this dot style is equals to, this dot style is equals to S. Is equals to S. Okay. Then also, we can also make sure it will inherit the second construct, or not the third construct. We can call it super. We can say second constructor. Second constructor. You can second constructor. So this constructor, we will just say that it inherit one feature. Let's assume it inherit one feature. So public triangle shape. So here I would just say double X. Okay, then I can call this super. Then I pass in X. Okay, super X. So now here I will just say that now the style here, this dot style, let's say the style will be field. This is also another feature. Then we can add another feature again, just for the third constructor, or the first, let's say for the first constructor. Remember the default constructor. Want to make use of that default constructor. So we can say public triangle shape. So remember the default constructor is empty, so this one will be empty. So here I can just call super. When I call super with empty parameter, then it is going to call the it is going to call the default constructor that we define. Okay, so this dot style is equals to none, meaning because if there's no feature inherited, then probably there is no style. Okay, good. So now we can add a method that is going to get the area for us. That is going to get the area for us. Remember here now I'm making use of overriding method. Okay, I'm making use of overriding method inheritance. So remember in here we have a method. No, sorry. Okay, good. Okay, fine. Let's use, so okay, let's say now I want to override this method. These two methods, I want to override them because they already exist. Okay, these two methods. Okay, I want to override these two methods, which is show dimension and then show area. So in here, to achieve that, I can say in here, I can say public void show dim. Okay, remember that was the method name. Then inside, I can call the system dot out dot, and then I can say print ln. Okay, then inside I can say the area is, now let's look at what is going to happen. Now for me to override this one, I can call the keyword super. Okay, I can call the keyword super. Okay, now I can say okay, let me not, okay, let me just do it like this. I can call the method inside here, this method, so dimension. I can say super, okay, dot. When I say super dot, it can give me a method that is coming from the parent class. So the one that I want right now is this one. So this one I am overriding. So I can call it add override. Okay, I am overriding. Then we can also add a method to also override the area. So I can say public void show area. Okay. Oh, sorry, that's the comment. I can say override area method. Then down here I can say public void show area. Remember the method name was show area. It's coming from the parent class, so I can say super dot get. Okay, good. Super dot, oh sorry, super dot show area. Okay, so I have override these two methods. They are coming from the parent class. Right now, if I want to change the value of this method, like if I want to give it an additional value, it will, it is still going to work. So I have override these two methods here. So this works in also in inheritance. Okay. So for this one, we are done with it. The only thing that we need to add here is to get the style. Okay, because remember, here we are setting the style like with the constructor, but we want to get it. So we can add a method here. Get style. Okay, so that one is of type string. So it's a public string. Get style. Okay, then I can say return dot style. Okay, good. So our this class is done. You see, the class is done. You know, we have our subclass, which is done. Okay, so we can go to our third class. Okay, now the third class, the parent of the third class will come from the triangle. The parent of the third class will come from the triangle. Okay, good. Okay, now before doing that, let's add another method here to display style. Okay, so we can say public I'll call it method show style. I can call it public void show style. Okay, so inside I can add my print statement out dot and then inside I can say the figure is like it should print something like the figure is. Then I would call in the get method. Okay, so I can just say concatenated with this dot get. Okay, get method style. Okay, good. So in here is complete now. Yeah, I'm not gonna add anything. So then inside here now for the other one, let's say there's a new child, triangle have a new child. So now this child comes with a feature. So you can or field variable here also comes with a unique feature, and the unique feature is a private string color. It's colored. Okay, then here it have only one constructor. Have only one constructor. So I can say one constructor. Okay. So now I can call it public colored triangle shape, colored triangle shape. Then the constructor takes in arguments. Now here I can add the extra feature, which is string C, which is for the color. And then I can now for me to sorry, let me remove this first. Sorry, before I will do that, for me to inherit the features that are coming from the triangle class, I want to access those features inside this class. It's simple. I just extend it. I call the extends keyword, then I call the class or the parent class triangle C. So if I extend it now, I can access the feature. So here I can add in the argument. So strong C. Now remember, inside the constructor of here, inside this constructor, we have a string S double H. Okay, so we need these features. So we can just pass in arguments here. So we call it string C double W and then double H. Okay, now after this, what comes next? We call the super keyword, which is the constructor super. Now remember, whenever we call super now, since this argument is having more than one value, so let's call this one S. Since this constructor here is having a parameter of more than one value, then it is going to refer to, we are going to make use of this one. We are calling this constructor now. So inside the constructor, we have what? We have S, comma, W, comma, H. Okay. Inside this first constructor, we are having S, comma, W, comma, H. So we will be able to inherit those features in here. Then we can initialize the extra feature with this dot color is equals to C, which is color. Okay, good. So here we can add a method to get the color for us, a method to get the color, and then another method to show color. So we can say method to get color. This been set over there. So we can say public string. Remember, color is stringer. Public string get color. Then we return this dot. Okay. Then the other one method to show color. Okay, that one will be void. So we say public void. Oh, sorry, public void show color. Then we add our print statement, system dot out dot print element. Then inside we can say color is concatenated with get color. Okay, with this dot. Okay, guys, I think this will be enough. We already have our 3 classes, and we have added their features. Like the first class was this one, and remember it. Like this is the main parent. This is the parent. Okay, so that parent have 2 features and other features also. So now this parent has a child, which is triangle. Now the triangle inherit those 2 features coming from the parent, which is 2D shape. Okay, so it inherit what? The width and the height, and then it have extra features such as style. Okay, now there is, so now this one 2D shape has a grandchild. Okay, and this two which is colored triangle, and colored triangle is a child of triangle. Okay, and now colored triangle is going to inherit 3 features, which is coming from the triangle class. Okay, and which are this one, S, W, and H. And then it has extra feature which is colored. Good, guys. So we are done with our these classes. So we can go ahead and then we can go ahead and then add our tester class. So we can right click, create our tester class, and call it display to display dimension. Display figures. Let me call it figures, display figures. Okay, so inside this tester class, we just go ahead and add our main method, public static void main, and then string. Then the arguments comes next, which is kind of a let's say just a variable. Like, okay, now inside here now we are going to create three objects. You will create 3 objects. Okay, we will create 3 objects. Okay, now we could say what can start with 2D shape. 2D shape is equals to 2D shape. This one, let me just call it square. Okay. Square is equals to new 2D shape. new 2D shape. So inside a square have the same width and height. So here we can call this constructor. Remember, inside this constructor, we can make use of this constructor double X. Okay. Now, if I wanted, I could have say, I could have say new triangle. Let's see if that will work. New triangle shape, because remember, I have passed in inside this triangle inherited this constructor from 2D shape. So it is possible to pass here one value, which is I can only pass 4. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let me see. Oh, yeah, the way I spell it. Okay, good. So you see, I could do this. So with this now, let's say it is, we can call it polymorphism. Okay, though probably I'll make another tutorial about polymorphism, but polymorphism is just something like with many forms. Okay, so you see, we call 2D, and then we are referencing the constructor of the triangular shape, because triangular shape is having some of the features coming from the 2D shape. Okay, so now we can add another one. So that one we can call it triangle. Okay, triangle shape. Or if you want also, we can call it, yes, let's just call it triangle shape. Triangle shape. So this one, it is going to have 3 dimensions. So this one I can call it a triangle. Okay. Okay. So it's equals to new triangle shape. Then inside I can pass the width. I can pass the it is outlined. Remember, the styled. It is outlined. And then it has width and height. So width 4, height 5. Okay. Now remember, I'm calling the constructors. Inside here, you're having this constructor here. It is having style, width, and height. And that's what I'm calling inside here. And then I can add another shape. So this one I can call it this one. Okay, I can call it colored triangle shape is equal colored triangle shape, colored triangle is equals to new colored triangle shape. Okay, then inside I can pass in it is colored, which is red. Okay, and it is field. Oh, let's call it, I think, let me see here, it is colored, then it is field. Okay, it is field in order. Then I can give it width and height, which is 4,5. Okay, good. 4,5. Then I can just do this. Okay, we have created our objects. Okay, so let's go ahead and then add our print statements and call the methods. So here I can create system.out println. Okay, my print statement, like this one is just a format. So I'm going to copy this 6 times. No, 7 times. 1, 1, 2. Oh, it's okay. 1. Okay, so the first one here, in fact, wait, let me remove this. So the first one here, yeah, I can just say it. Details for parent view. Oh, detail for square. Let me call it square. It's okay. And the second one, I can just sort of underline. Okay, now I can call the square. So that one is for square. So I can call the object square dot. What am I going to do? So for the square, I'm just going to show the dimension. And then, because square only have 2 things, dimension and then area. So I can say show area. Okay. Then I can add a new line here. Okay. Then this one, I will need it for the next one. Okay. Then this one, I'll call it triangle. For triangle. So then for triangle, we have triangle here as an object. Okay, so that one, I can say triangle dot. For triangle, we can show the style. And remember, we can show the style because those features are available. And then triangle dot, we can also show the dimension. Show the dimension, and then triangle dot, we can also get the color. Okay, let's see. We have what? Get color. Or show color. Search for it. So, okay, let me see. Style, sorry. Style. So style, okay. In fact, we already get that one. So we just display the area, which is show area. Okay, good. So that one is done. Then we can add another one here. We can add another one here, and this one is colored triangle. Colored triangle. So here we can make it, we can call this object color triangle. Then we can call so you can say color triangle dot, and for this one we can access this style. Remember, we can access this style because it is available for us. And then color triangle dot, we can access the dimension, it is show dim, and then the other one is color triangle. Color triangle dot, we can also show the color. We can show the color, and then the last one we can show the area. Okay, so guys, you can see the differences. Okay, so let's debug this and run it. So I think for now, not everything look good. Okay, so let's run this, guys. Good. So here, let me just add this print statement here for a new liner. Okay, so I'm coming to, I will right click on display figures. Then I will run as on configuration. Then I will target the package name, which is tutorial. And then I will target the main methods there. And the one that I want is display figures. So I will run it. Okay, guys, you can see everything. Okay, so this is the parent class. It have only width and height. Okay, and then you have another one. This the triangle class is outline, and it have width and height, and then the area is given. And the other one, it is filled, the width and height, and it is colored, and then the area is given. Okay, guys, so this is what I want. This is what I have for you guys. Okay, this is what I have for you guys in the tutorial, and hopefully it will be helpful to you. So if you have any question, don't forget to add in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe, please, because I'm doing this for you guys. So have a great day. Okay, stay safe. Bye.